Hey Malik, hope you're doing well. We've talked to the other freshmen already over the last couple of weeks, and the one thing that they continue to rave about is the progression that they've made with Cliff Marshall. Can you kind of touch on your relationship with him and just how you've progressed in the weight room since getting to campus?
Of course, Coach Cliff. I mean, he's put a program in for us to help us ultimately get better, strength wise, and he's doing a great job at that. I mean, I put on a good amount of like we've been in the weight room and we've been putting in a good amount of muscle and the strength that we need to compete with the older guys because coming from high school to college is going to be a big difference in the playing style and the toughness. So we just got to get stronger, and Coach Cliff is helping us do that.
Dustin.
Hey, Malik, just you mentioned competing with the older guys. I mean, I imagine that means you've probably got a lot of run-ins with Trace Jackson Davis so far. What's that been like? And you know, how what kind of similarities do you see in each other's games? What are some things that you've learned from him already and that you think you can pick up from playing against him and being around him?
Well, from Trace, I mean, we're both lefties, so I mean, I keep in mind about what he does with as a lefty. I mean, he's very real dominant down low and understands how he could control his man in the post, and it's just he just finds a way to get easy baskets down low. And I look at that and I see how I could resemble this to Trace being tough and being dominant down low. And then when it comes to like competing with older guys, just really like not falling into all the trash talking and just really just ultimately playing my game. And that helps me compete against the older guys. And I think I do a good job of that.
Kevin Vera.
Thank you. I can't hear him.
Kevin, if you want to just, if you have my cell, text me your question and we'll get to it, or send me via email. Next question, Mike Schumann.
Yeah, hey Malik, hope you're doing well. Just kind of continuing on with going up against Race and Trace. Has there been a moment like in scrimmages going up against those guys where you've kind of realized, hey, I can't get away with some of the things I used to do in high school? Or can you talk about just kind of the changes in your game that you've had to make going up against guys like that?
It's been a lot of changes. I mean, I've been going against Race and Trace for about 2 weeks now, and I mean, you could tell the difference from the physicalness from high school and college. I mean, it's hard to bump bodies with Race and Trace because they're all solid, and it's not easy to move them. So I gotta, I have to find different moves or get past them with speed and not just overpower them. And that's why I found a big difference in from high school and from college. I mean, I feel like it's more of a finesse game and not just trying to back down your man. So that's what I found about that.
Tyler Tackman.
Hey Malik, I hope you're doing well. Who has been the biggest influence in your basketball career, and can you go into some depth as to why that is?
Biggest influence, I'll say my parents. Both my parents, they played basketball, and I know just looking at my mom when she was coming up, she was a good basketball player herself. So just looking at my mom and my dad play, I just wanted to be a basketball player too.
Alex Bozich.
Hey Malik, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. I'm curious, you're familiar with Jalen, playing with him in high school, but you're not as familiar with CJ and Caleb coming in. I'm just curious your impressions of both of those guys and maybe what stands out in terms of their games and what maybe they've impressed you with since you've been able to play with them.
You said CJ and Caleb, right?
Yes.
CJ and Caleb, they're both great guys on and off the court. I mean, we all play with a little toughness and a chip on our shoulder, which is great, especially when you competing against the older guys. And I feel like we do a great job of really competing, and that's the biggest goal. We need to compete, and then when it comes to their skills and abilities, they all could pass, shoot, and dribble, and they all do what's necessary to win. So that's why I love playing with my guys.
This question is from Kevin. How have the older guys helped the freshmen get used to the new college game and the college life?
Say that one more time.
How have the older guys helped the freshmen get used to the college game and the college life?
I would say just being around us and helping us out on and off the court, trying to do stuff that and go out and go eat or go bowling and just, team bond and do stuff like that together. I think we do a good job of that. And then on the court, really just talking to the freshmen and telling them what to do and what coach wants us to do on the court and stuff like that. So just really helping us out all on and off the court.
Zion Brown.
Yeah, Malik, you've already talked about kind of going up against Race and Trace, and just overall in the front court, there's a lot of talented players between you, those two, and a few other guys. How do you feel like that kind of competition and that sort of competitiveness will help you going forward?
It's going to help me a lot. It's going to help not only me, but everybody really take the game to the next level, and that's what we need. We need to take our game to the next level step by step to compete against all these other good schools around the country.
Jeff Rabjones.
Hey, Malik, thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it. Give me 3 or 4 things basketball-wise that you're most confident in having impact your freshman year, like certain skills, certain moves, certain things that you feel that's going to be something I'm going to be able to have as a freshman once games get going.
I say having a winning mentality, competing on the court, doing whatever it takes to help my team win, not only just, trying to score the basketball, but help on the defensive end, set good screens for the point guards and stuff like that. And, just try to do all the little stuff. And that's what's going to help my game expand into like scoring. And that's what's going to build my confidence up to be able to score the basketball and to play defense and all that stuff.
Okay, I'm going to begin a round of follow-ups. I have Dustin, Alex, Tyler, and Mike Schumann. So if you want to get added to that list, put it in the chat. But first question goes to Dustin.
And kind of playing off of that last one, what are, I guess, the biggest areas you're working on this summer? What are the parts of your game that you want to expand? And just connected to that, I mean, how have you been, I know you're not all the way into practice yet, but how have you been functioning positionally? I guess just how much sort of 5 have you been playing versus 4?
Actually, I've been playing, the 4 and the 5. I mean, going between the 4 and 5, but I've been playing the 4 most of the time, going up against Race a lot. And just being able to improve my shooting from past the arc and improve my 3-point shot and just being confident with my jump shot and working on attacking closeouts and staying where I'm comfortable at in the post too, just trying to touch on everything, but mostly my jump shot too.
Alex.
Malik, I'm curious, in terms of the upperclassmen, have they talked to the younger guys in terms of what goals and what they want to achieve as a team next season at all? And also for you individually, I know you're not worried about numbers and things like that, but what are your expectations out of yourself as you prepare for your first college season?
Well, the older guys, they're definitely trying to teach the younger guys how to compete at a high level all the time. We're ultimately trying to, get the Big Ten title and stuff like that. So it's been a big expectation for the freshmen to really sponge in everything that Coach Woodson and all the older guys are talking about and trying to help us improve on. And I'll say, what's the second part to that question? I'm sorry.
I'm just curious. I know you're not worried about your numbers specifically or anything like that, but I'm just curious, like what you expect out of yourself this season. I mean, you're going into a new situation. You're not exactly sure what your role is going to be, but what do you kind of expect out of yourself going into this year?
To be a spark plug for my teammates, whether it's coming off the bench or playing, starting the game off, whatever it is, just really being that spark plug for the team.
Next question, Tyler.
Yeah, Malik, you said that both of your parents played basketball. Did they play in college? And what was it just like growing up with 2 parents that played basketball?
Well, my mom played college basketball. My dad's from believes. He didn't play college basketball, but growing up with my mom and dad, they took me to the outside courts all the time and played against them, and they always beat me in one-on-ones and stuff like that. But I mean, it was fun growing up because they taught me the game early, and trained me early, so I didn't really have to, try to pay for trainers or anything. They helped me out with that type of stuff.
Mike Schumann.
Yeah, Malik, I wanted to go back to your training and development with Cliff Marshall. I know when I saw you at the team camp several weeks ago, you look quite a bit different than some of the other freshmen. I think you came in kind of physically, further along maybe. So I was curious if your plan was a little bit different. I mean, were you really looking to come in and add weight, or what was the kind of the main points of emphasis over this month?
When I sat down with Coach Cliff, it was really maintaining my weight and building muscle, and trying to stay at a good weight, not trying to gain weight or lose weight. Yeah, because I came in already built and had that weight on me, so I'm really just maintaining my weight, getting stronger in the weight room, and that's really much it.
Zion Brown.
Yeah, Malik, last week, CJ kind of talked about the defensive end and how much work and emphasis he'd be putting on that as he's transitioning to play in the college game. For you, what is your kind of development going on the defensive end? What have you learned in this month or so you've been really on campus? What have you learned in that aspect?
It's a big difference from high school basketball and college basketball on the defensive end. A lot of terminologies you need to learn, and just ultimately buying into what Coach Winston got to say, because they were the best college, one of the best defensive teams last year. So it's really buying into what Coach Winston's saying and understand the defensive schemes that he's going through at the time.
Okay, the last question I have requested is Alec Lastly.
Yeah, obviously, having a prior relationship with Jalen in high school, can you just touch a little bit about what he does on the court that makes him so good and talented on both ends of the floor, and just what you think he can bring to this team this year?
Yeah, Jalen, he's a very unselfish player, finds his teammates, knows how to get his shots, get open shots for himself. And he's an all-around player. I mean, on the defensive end, he picked up the ball 94 feet. He's going to defend their best players, and he's just going to be a spark plug regardless if he's starting or he's coming off the bench. And he's just a great guy to be around.
Okay, I've got time for two more quick questions. Tyler, then Dustin.
Yeah, Malik, you just talking about working out with your parents when you were younger. Were there any really big lessons that they tried to hit home to you as you were kind of starting your basketball career?
Really, I'll say it gotta be just really staying focused on myself and not worrying about other people on social media and stuff like that. I'll say that was the biggest thing with me, trying to worry about what other kids were doing and not what I was focused on. So I think that was probably the big one of the biggest lessons. Just worrying about myself and staying in the gym and locked in.
Last question, Dustin.
I just wanted to go back to what you said about just the skills you've been working on. I mean, you said you've been shooting outside a lot. I guess just how much have you been operating on the perimeter, versus the post, basically? I mean, just how much of a focus has that been for you? And are you spending a lot of time, I guess, defending on the perimeter as well? And how's that going?
Yes, I mean, I've been playing outside. The way Coach Woodson's playing style is, the four is outside on the perimeter a lot of times. So I've been working on my perimeter game, trying to guard the 1 through the 5, and just being able to switch on defense and to help expand my game or help expand my range for offense and to be able to knock down threes when I'm wide open.